The Osmo Pocket has been a major part of my channel's success, and it really helps me create a lot of different styles of content, especially as a B camera. But for a lot of my subscribers, this is your main camera. Now, I want to talk about some important tips and settings that you need to know if this is your main camera. As I said, the Osmo Pocket is a main camera for a lot of people. Personally, I use it for hyperlapses, for motion lapses, for even a B cam if I'm actually doing some videos with my A7 III. Sneaky little vlogs I've done before. Sometimes I even give this camera to Amber because, well, it is damn easy to use. So the main reason why I'm making this video is that I was contacted by a subscriber named Romy. He's Indonesian, but he lives in Germany studying there. And he said the Osmo Pocket is his main video. Now, I think he's got around, 13 or 14,000 subs on YouTube, which is incredible. That's fantastic. But he said he wants to try and increase his studio lighting, and he just can't get it to look the same as mine. Well, thank you, but obviously you don't want it to look the same, but you want to learn some of these tips that I'm going to teach you right now to create your own style. Also, before we continue, I have set up a Patreon page just so I can create a little bit more quality videos for you guys to watch. Now, I have been trying to increase my quality, which takes a lot more time out of my day. So anything that you pledge to on Patreon will definitely help out the channel, especially if you go for a different option where you can capture a lot more behind the scenes and exactly how I set up my videos. Like I said, everything that is pledged goes directly back into the channel to try and make much better quality content for you guys. All right, thank you in advance, guys. Back to the video. First of all, Romy, thank you for reaching out. I try to help as many people as possible, so I know this will be very applicable to a lot of my subscribers. Secondly, if you've seen my Osmo Pocket low light video, you'll understand that this thing doesn't perform well under low light situations. You do have to keep it at the base ISO at 100, otherwise you're going to start to introduce a lot more grain. And now I understand a lot of people like to have that nice sort of dark, low-key sort of studio environment. That is perfectly fine. You just need to start to understand how to expose the subject correctly with the Osmo Pocket. And if you do have a nice sort of high-key situation like I've got now, same again, you just need to understand how to light up that situation so you can make the Osmo Pocket look optimally good. Now, as I've mentioned, in these sort of darker situations, you need to start shooting manual. You need to be in full control of your settings. Now, don't forget, I am in PAL region, so I do shoot 25 frames per second. PAL region, I think, also includes like Africa, Europe, Asia, South America, and rest of Oceania. Whereas the United States and Canada generally use 24 frames per second, which is NTSC. But the shutter speed will always stay the same in between the two countries. Yes, you do get some professional cameras that go to 1/48th of a second, which is amazing, but a lot of standard cameras will just do 1/50th. So all of us guys will be using 1/50th. So first of all, we need to start touching base on 3-point lighting once again. This is the main thing to make the Osmo Pocket perform really well, is lighting. 3-point lighting is used in many films, documentaries, and even your favorite YouTubers potentially use the 3-point lighting technique. Essentially, you need to have 2 to 3 lights in your scene. The main and obvious light is the key light. This is the main light illuminating yourself or your subject, and can be from an artificial light source or even from a window, just like what I'm using right now. This light source is usually placed off to, roughly about a 45-degree angle beside your subject, and it just lights up part of the face, so not the whole face, just so you can create a little bit of contrast in that lighting. The second light is generally the fill light. So this is a very small amount of light that fills in the shadows in this area, and it's not meant to be too harsh. Sometimes that key light can actually bounce off a few walls and give you a natural fill, so sometimes you don't even need that fill light anyway. Now lastly is the hair or rim light. Now this is advisable if you are in a low key situation. You can even do it in a high key situation. There are a few different tips that you need to understand though. is that if you're using it as a hair light, you need to come down on top of the subject, or if you're using it as a rim light, it needs to be behind the subject. So it's illuminating the side of the face or the side of the shoulder area. So this can help separate you or your subject from the background. So it gives you that nice sort of 3D sort of feel. It's not a flat feel to the footage. Now I know a lot of YouTubers use a lot of practical lights. I mean, I use a lot of practical lights. I've got the iWater GL01 there. I've got a teal light over this area as well, just to create a nice sort of teal and orange look. I kind of like that look. But you can even use, you know, LED strips. I know a lot of YouTubers tend to use a lot of LED strips. Perfectly fine. It's up to you what you want to do, but at least learn the basics of 3-point lighting first, and then you'll be able to get, you know, a nice good looking studio. Just a quick tip, this may be a little bit of trial and error. So you're going to have to take a little bit of the footage first, throw it into your editing app and see what the lumetri scopes say, or see what the histogram says. Try and have a look and try and have a play with the lighting before you start recording your whole video. So test that lighting first, and then obviously once you get your lighting done correctly, then you know exactly what to do for next time. The one thing that you need to remember as well is that the key light should never be really harsh. You can see that this key light right here is actually quite soft, and it's not harsh like this rim light. You don't want harsh light on your subject because potentially you could be overexposing the skin and losing a lot of detail. So I hope you try these lighting techniques out with the Osmo Pocket. I know if you apply these, it will make the quality of your videos 100% better, and it'll just help you produce better content. Now don't forget to always shoot in manual. You must be shooting in manual with the Osmo Pocket, so you are in complete control of the Osmo Pocket. I do have a video explaining how to shoot manual in the Osmo Pocket with some cinematic settings. So you can click the link here or in the link in the description below. So check that video out as well. Anyway guys, my name's Jason Morris. I hope you liked this video. Comment below if you did. Like this video if you did as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Let's get it.
I love is strong.